We are in an epidemic of situationships. There are more people that are together but not together, but still do relationship type things and are still having sex, having romance, and it has become an epidemic. Where are the marriages? Where are the relationships? Where are the engagements? What is happening to today's dating economy? And is it a good thing or a bad thing? Let me lay some facts on you to give you a little bit of a perspective of what's actually going on. First and foremost, over half the women over the age of 30 don't have children. In fact, it's 50.4%. That has never happened in history. And about half of them will never have kids. 10% of women altogether will never have children, not necessarily because they can't, but more so by choice. 55% of all marriages are ending in divorce. Now let's talk about marriage itself. The rate of marriage has declined by about 60% in the last 50 years in the United States alone. 55% of the marriages in the United States are ending in divorce. About 18% of them are filing for separation. In that bracket of the ones that are actually just still married, there are a lot that are just unhappy. 7 to 8% of them are very unhappy, but they're still together for religious reasons, financial reasons, and because they don't believe in divorce altogether, but they are still reporting that they are very unhappy. So there's a small sliver of marriages that are happy, but then there's a spectrum of that happiness. They may be satisfied, they may be content, or they may be overjoyed. Now, ideally, we want to be in the bracket that's very happy, and we want to learn how these people are very happy. But it seems like overwhelmingly, people don't want to date, people don't want to marry, and the idea of a traditional household, the nuclear family, is going down. And today I'm going to tell you what this means and if you should get married or not, and why dating is important, or if it's just not necessary anymore. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? My name is Sumi. I'm the host of Thoughtcast, and a lot of people know me for my relationship content, but traditionally I'm a business coach. And today I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight of why I focus so much on relationships and why dating is important and why you should still date even though you see an overwhelming amount of data that positions you against dating. Now, the data itself shows that marriage is failing and that men are losing their property in divorces and that women are chronically unhappy in the marriages they're getting into, and everything that you see on social media seems to point that, okay, this is just not working out. But I just want to remind you of a very small fact that kind of just blows us out of the water and shows why dating is very important. First and foremost, 81% of millionaires are married. 82% of billionaires are married. And so that itself makes me think. That itself made me dig a little deeper, okay? How are all the successful people married? Why are all the successful people married? I look at what successful people are doing and I see overwhelmingly, even though the data points otherwise in the large percentage of people, that they are married, that they are entering partnerships, that they are in relationships. And so I'm here to give you a really technical breakdown of how you should be approaching relationships and how you are going to win this situation that we have today where people are just chronically unhappy. We live in a society where social media, the internet, and dating apps in itself has made people think that there's an abundance of people out there in the world. Infidelity is at an all-time high. People are jumping into relationships faster than ever before, and people are being more sexually active more than ever before. And this is honestly a win for men. I would say more so for men, because historically, men could never hook up with a woman on the first date. It just wasn't a thing. But now, hooking up on the first date, one-night stands, going to a bar and just picking up a girl and taking her home and having fun is a real thing for men. We have over 41 types of contraception, and a lot of women have normalized the idea of sex work, of prostitution, and just, hooking up. So it's really a win for guys. And I'm not saying that women don't benefit from as well, but the whole my body, my choice, I can do whatever I want has really caused a lot of corrosive damage to the idea of a traditional family, to staying loyal in relationships, and not looking out for a mistress. So my heart goes out for all the women out there that want to have that traditional family, because when a man gets married and he's successful and he's doing well for himself, there is a whole different bracket, a whole niche of women that will go for him. And the reality is they'll go for a guy that's married because they have leverage. Women are also attracted to men that are in relationships. It's called mate choice copying or mate choice selection. You can look it up. It's a real phenomenon that occurs where women will choose men that other women are choosing. It's almost like a social cue that this man is successful and this man is the one that I need to go for. Now, a lot of women might say, oh, I'm repulsed by this, but there are still a lot of women out there that will go for men that are married because they look at a man like that has a stable relationship and they say, he has something. He's doing something right. And so they investigate. And it's a win-win for them because some of these women go for the man to extort him financially. Some of them look for the non-commitment, commitment nature of the relationship itself, where they're being chased by him and they are his muse. And also, they have leverage. If he does anything to displease her, they can go tell the wife, boom, marriage collapse, everything is ruined, and she has control. So I know, not necessarily on a personal level, a lot of women that do this and they win and they go after men that are married. And a lot of men fall into the trap because there's a lot of temptation and maybe these men are not disciplined. I'm not condoning these men's actions. I'm not condoning the women's actions. It's just a real phenomenon that happens today amongst men that are very successful. So the woman that wants to be married has to then combat a whole onslaught of women that want to get her man. On the flip side, social media has made it very easy for a woman to cheat because if you're an attractive girl, you can go to literally any city, post up your location, men are going to DM you, men are going to inbox you. Any attractive girl that looks good on social media is going to get men that are after her, and it's very easy to step out and do whatever you want to do. So infidelity is at an all-time high. And so once again, it's difficult to find people that are loyal. Next thing I want to say is that we don't need to be in relationships anymore because we can all financially provide for themselves. Back in the day, women had to rely on a man to basically take care of them, and men had to rely on a woman to take care of the household. But nowadays, with the opportunities that we have for remote work and just work in general, where we're more understanding of children and lifestyle, women can now earn whatever they want to earn and they don't need a man, and men can do whatever they want to do and hire a maid and hire people to take care of things, and they don't need a woman to take care of the kids and raise them. So we have more of an independence culture where we're sitting behind our own computer screens. There's more one-bedroom apartments, there's more Zoom meetings, and people aren't as social anymore. People don't need one another anymore. There's not a dependence anymore where back in the day we used to have that, okay? You can get everything shipped to your door, you can have everything done remotely, you can make money by yourself and live by yourself and actually, in a lot of senses, be very, very entertained and be very happy. So we have an epidemic here where people don't want to commit. Men are scared of getting in a relationship because they can lose half their income. Let's say one day after 10 years she doesn't like you anymore, she can divorce you, hook up with your best friend, and leave you and take everything that you have built together. And on the flip side, nowadays women are scared to get in a relationship because men have a larger access to cheat on them. As a woman marries a guy at 25 and he's maybe 27, 10 years later he's going to be more successful, he's going to be making more money, or he could just fire up social media, the internet, or dating apps and go talk to a woman that's half her age and go do whatever he wants. There's an opportunity for those guys to do whatever. So why do I want to get in relationships? Well, let me explain something to you. And this is something that I had to learn firsthand when I talked to a lot of my business partners and a lot of people that I know that are very successful. You're never going to win in life unless you engage in partnerships, in friendship level, in a business level, and more so romantically. It is a stupid thing to do to think that you're going to beat somebody that's in a partnership. If you're versing a very happy married couple in business, they're going to win. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because two is always going to be more than one. And when two people are combined and love each other and care about each other, they're going to be willing to do things that you're just not going to be able to do, and you're not going to be able to get other people to do. If you have an employee that works for you, they're going to be in 9 to 5 and then they're going to go do whatever they want to do. If you have someone that loves you and cares about you, she's going to go above and beyond, he's going to go above and beyond, and together you're going to beat anything that comes against you. I'm not saying this in some cringy, love-based fashion. I'm saying this very realistically. When a man and woman come together, their core partnership can beat anything because women have a different penetration in terms of seduction, in terms of selling, in terms of relationship building, and men have a different level of workforce where they can be put to work and do a lot more. I'm able to handle a lot more physically, mentally, even emotionally sometimes as a man, just on a biological level. A woman is able to have more penetration, more infiltration into a certain market experience because she's just a woman. So you have to understand that when men and women work together, they're really unstoppable. But this idea of partnership has really started to fade away. And I'm here to be the first one to bring it back because all the successful people in the world are pushing this agenda where marriage is not a good thing, but they're not telling you that they're all married. Every millionaire that I know that really kills it in life is married. Every billionaire that I know, pretty much every single one, is married. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work where you have billionaire playboys that just go out on towns and go to bars every single weekend. They're too valuable and they lock up their life and they understand that monogamy, number one, is the best child-rearing institution in the world. So if you're going to create a legacy, you better make sure that you're married and you have a wife that really loves you and cares about you. That's the first thing, okay? Same thing for women. And number two, you want someone that you can trust, that's a partner that's going to help you build in the long term. These short-term relationships are nothing but a waste of time. They're a waste of effort, and you're hooking up with someone, spending hours with someone that you're not actually going to grow with. Your partner has the largest level of influence on you in your entire life. You sleep with them, you cook with them, you manage a business with them in terms of raising children, you manage finances with them, you decorate your house together, you travel together, everything is built with this person. So the person that you marry, the person that you date has a large, if not the largest level of influence on your entire life. So if you're going to spend a lot of time personally in bed, hooking up, doing this, that, and third with people that don't matter, you are going to take on a lot of negative energy. You're going to take on a lot of bad traits from someone because they're not actually being who they are. They're probably very superficial. if someone is just going to open up to you on a one-night drunken stand, the interaction itself is not going to be valuable. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, and you're going to spend a lot more time being formal in the interaction, getting to know each other, than actually getting work done and being efficient, because there's no chemistry there whatsoever. This is why I'm not a big fan of the one-night stands and the hookups and everything like that. It's a waste of time for men and women. Both of you are losing. A lot of guys think that they're going to win by going out and hooking up with a girl. No, you're not. You're wasting the youngest years of your life. You're the youngest you are in this very moment on somebody that you don't know. If you're doing it for the purpose of building a relationship, that's different. But a lot of you go in with the mindset of just hooking up. And obviously for girls, I don't think this is beneficial, because most of the guys that you're going to meet in the club that are there for the one-night stand, they may not necessarily want your best interest, and they may be really operating out of temptation and lust. But long-term, you guys should be looking to build relationships. It's still important for you to go out. It's still important for you to socialize. It's still important for you to network. But this idea that you should try to run the world by yourself is never going to win. Nobody great is ever self-made. If someone comes to me and said, hey, I built this all by myself, I'd say, prove it to me. You had nobody that helped you. You had no employees. You had no staff. Any company that's relatively large is filled with staff and employees and people. Fundamentally, if you're a self-made person that built everything by yourself and you have nobody helping you, it's probably lame. You're probably a loser. You probably have nothing to show for it, because everything great is built with people. Everything great is built with depending on people and working with others and engaging in partnerships. So if you're going to build a life with somebody, you need to engage in partnerships. You need to engage in relationships. There is a lot of data that shows how single motherhood is absolutely devastating to the child, and single fatherhood is absolutely devastating, not necessarily on an extreme degree like that, but more so emotionally to a child. Single motherhood has higher rates of child pregnancy, lower grades, more violence, more incarceration rates, lower financial stability later in life. There's so much data that shows that single motherhood is absolutely devastating to a child. In fact, I was raised by a single mother, and I missed out on a lot of opportunities, not necessarily because it's my mom's fault, my father passed away, but because of the situation that we were in. I never saw my mother growing up because she was always working. On the flip side, being a single father is just as bad. It's just not necessarily demonstrated in the data because it's more so emotional and psychological. I know a lot of people that come from single father households, and they're not there emotionally because they don't know what love, empathy, nurturing, and care is. And that will reflect in their future generations as they raise children. So these are both bad. You need men and women to work together. And so it's super important that you get into a good relationship with somebody that can build with you. There's always going to be downfalls to it. There's always going to be flaws, but look for someone that's compatible. Stop chasing love. Start looking for compatibility. Start looking at people as the mother or father of the children that you're going to have. Start looking at people as business partners. Start looking at people as someone that you're going to have in your life, cook, sleep, eat with, build a life with. Don't look at them as a one-night stand or a hookup, or this person might be fun to have here and there. Look at them for their habits, for what they can bring you, and look at them for compatibility. You might say this is transactional, but let me tell you something. Every relationship involves transactions. That's the nature of a relationship itself, whether it's in business, whether it's in friendships or relationships. And the big thing you have to understand is that love can be built very easily once you start to like each other and you have compatibility. Love is easy to build on when everything is working well. When there's money in your pocket, when you're both in shape, it's easy to love somebody that's good for you. It's hard to really stay in love with somebody that has no compatibility with you. The initial love is just lust and temptation. It's not really love. So today I'm here to tell you that there is a lot of data that points against marriage, against relationships. And I'm telling you to be cautious. But at the same time, I'm telling you that you should not just say no, because the top percentage of people in the world are winning with relationships. They're winning with compatibility. They're winning in marriage. And you would be an idiot to listen to everybody in the world that's not successful and be a fool to not listen to the people that are actually winning. I've learned time and time again that having the right woman in your life, the right man in your life, can literally change everything. You are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most, and the person that you typically surround yourself with the most is your partner. That's your intimate romantic partner. So if you date someone that's a drug addict, you're more likely to become a drug user. If you date someone that's very successful, entrepreneurial, and that's nurturing and caring, you're going to live a very calm, pleasant life. More than anything for women, if you find the right guy, your life is easy. And anything for men, if you find the right girl, she's going to motivate you to make more money, to be successful, to be more on it, to grind harder, to be in better shape. You find the right girl in your life, like a really, really nice girl, she's going to make you want to push harder. Every girl that I've dated in my life that was very attractive, that was very nice, that was very nurturing, has pushed me to become a better person, has pushed me to work harder. When I dated some of the girls I dated, I'm like, man, I got to make more money. I got to go way harder to give her the things that she wants in her life, because I want to make her happy, because she makes me happy. It's a mutualistic relationship. That is the power of relationships. So my advice to all of you is always be dating. Always be looking for your future partner. Always be looking for a future relationship. Unless you're in a committed committed relationship, obviously, look for the person that you want to engage with next. And never jump into a mindset where you just want to be alone. Never jump into a mindset where you don't want to talk to anybody. It's okay if you're fresh out of a breakup or you had a traumatic situation to just kind of stay alone for a couple months, but for the majority of your life, you should be looking for the next person that can bring compatibility, growth, and success for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys have learned a little bit of information today on how you should approach relationships. Don't listen to all the BS out there, guys. Stay focused on what's good for you and stay focused on what's going to grow you. If you guys ever need one-on-one help, the link is down below. Follow me on all my platforms. Hit that bell notification to subscribe. And until next time, guys, Sumi out.